Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Oh, let's get that out of there.
Yes. You got it. Welcome to tonight's live broadcast of the OhioRAAM Show, the show about UltraCycling and all things cycling. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Lee, I see you're out there on the couch again.
Yeah, that's me sprawled out there. That's my new Riley camera. Riley's being the kind of person he always is. I was going to put his Christmas sweater on. Jim, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you.
And we want to say Merry Christmas to all of the people who make OhioRAAM work, the 3 time stations here in Ohio, Race Across America time station 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, 43 in Chillicothe, which is rapidly becoming Jim's hometown.
Definitely. We are there for a whole week or more.
Yeah, around the clock for about 6 days, as it usually takes, doesn't it, for everybody to get by? And we're happy to do that. Hey, Jim, 220. This is going to be our last show
of the year,
live show,
yes,
of 2021.
Definitely.
So, any thoughts about 2021?
Well, I think it was overall a good year coming back from the pandemic. I think it was good to get out and enjoy some live in-person racing with RAM and some of the other events that we did, some of the world record attempts. So it was good in that respect, and it can only get better for 2022. How about you, Lee?
Well, yeah, that's true, and we're glad to see some racing. Not as much world travel as we'd hoped for.
Definitely.
But hopefully that'll be better in 2022. For goodness sakes, everybody get your vaccination so we can get this thing taken care of. And as far as the show goes, we need to thank an awful lot of people. First of all, Gregory Zuber there.
There you go.
You hear him at the beginning of every show and at the end of every show, and saw him today. Hey, he's a good guy, and we appreciate what he does.
Definitely.
And we want to thank everyone who guested on the show, who helped us out in so many ways.
Exactly.
And particularly those of you, the viewers. We have seen significant growth, Jim.
Definitely. I know that. It's great.
As we have said, UltraCycling's a niche sport. Mm-hmm. We're never going to go viral, as they say in
social media concepts.
Trade, you know?
Yep.
Because there aren't that many people in the world that even know about it. But we're doing our little bit to try to get it known. And you can help get UltraCycling known to more people by helping us get known to more people, because that's what we're here for. And you do that by following us on Facebook. Click that thing, Jim, and following us on Facebook.
There we go.
Subscribing on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Give us likes, give us comments, give us shares. We won't get into all the ins and outs of how this works, but the more you react to the show, the more ways you react to the show, the more likely it is that somebody's going to see us.
Definitely.
And you have done that. And we're seeing our reach and interactions grow all the time. And we're very happy for that. In fact, we made dramatic jumps this year.
Definitely.
Enough of talking about ourselves, Jim. You said you didn't have any news for us, I guess.
No, no news this week. I've been too busy getting ready for the holidays and with this contract job. So unfortunately, I kind of slacked in my duties. You're going to have to dock my pay again, I tell you.
You're going to have to dock your pay once again. I don't know what. I don't even going to bother sending you a 1099, Jim.
I know. I owe you one, don't I?
It's going to be worth it.
There you go. And we'll remind everybody, post your comments. Let us know where you're from. Wish us happy holidays or whatever. And get in for the great giveaway at the end of the show tonight.
Yeah, let us just, if you don't have anything else to say, just say, hey, I'm from wherever you're from.
There you go.
And
we
put your title up there.
yeah, give
We
a
see
shout out
Spiegel
to
Bikes is
Vesna
here.
Spiegel Bikes.
I don't. She's probably up there in Canada. Is it snowing in
I don't know
snowing
yet.
Montreal? I don't know.
Hey,
They
Dwayne.
say,
And
yeah,
he's from
Dwayne's
Ohio.
here.
Yes.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have a white Christmas.
I heard that, which I don't mind because I don't really like the snow. I don't like driving in it.
Well, I don't care to drive in it, but I kind of miss. Well, I don't ski anymore, so I don't miss. Well, let's have a little snow
There
here.
you go, snowstorm.
Just to make us all kind of feel like Christmas here, and maybe some Christmas lights to boot.
There you go. Give a shout out to Kaylee. Thanks for watching. I'm from Ohio.
Yeah,
Ohio in the house.
Great. Come on, guys. Tell us where you're from. We got a nice little group out there.
Definitely.
Let's talk a little about what's coming up. Like I said, this is the last live show of the year. Jim and I are going to kind of take our rest the next couple of weeks, and let the robot do the show for us.
Definitely.
And so next Sunday we're going to do a best of show with Joanna Sharp from New Zealand, talking
Great
about
show.
her long white ride. Joanna is a stitch. She is just fun to talk to. And we thought that would be a good show to repeat. And then we're going to do once again the show for the 2nd of January will be Leah Goldstein and Eric Newsom will be back. We'll send the recording of that again. That'll give us a little time to recover from New Year's, Jim.
Definitely.
And
I think we need to do this one first.
Yeah, so that's about it.
Yeah.
That said, let's head on out to Reno, Nevada, and find Shane Trotter out there. Hi,
Hey,
Shane.
Shane.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Very good. How about yourself?
Good.
Well, happy holidays to you.
Yep. Same to you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, we forgot to mention, Shane, if you'll let us interrupt, we're going to give another T-shirt away tonight to someone who comments.
There you
go.
go.
If you would like to get on that drawing, just get your name in the hopper, and we'll give away a T-shirt. We're
definitely.
That's one of our more better.
More better? Boy, there you go. See, I'm off for 2 weeks, and you start talking like that again, I tell you.
Well, yeah, my mother was from Eastern Kentucky, so you got to understand that a little bit.
And we're
Shane,
from Ohio.
We look at your list of things you've done in UltraCycling, and we decided before the show that we'd take us about 3 hours to get through all of that. But,
or more.
Or more. Let's see. You had a pretty successful world time trial this year, didn't you?
It was okay. It wasn't what I had planned. I actually was sick during the race, so it was good. It was good, and I'm grateful for the mileage I got. But I was actually wanting to get something a little better, like in the 520, 540 range. But it was a good race.
Excellent. And I see up here you've got quite a few things in 2020 under your belt. Race across Oregon, Silver State. Also, how did you do in those?
Those were awesome. So we kicked the season off with Race Across the West, and then that was a two-man deal that Tyler and I did, and then Race Across Oregon was the first solo event of the year. And so you never know, it'd been a while with COVID and all that. It'd been a long time since I'd gone and done 500 miles solo. So there's always kind of that unknown factor, even though you've done it before. And we crushed it. It was a good race, and towards the end there, George had actually come up to the crew or got a hold of the crew and let them know that I was on track for a course record. So
definitely
the last, I think, like 2 hours of that race, I just absolutely pedal to the metal and emptied the tank. And I think I ended up getting the second fastest time on the course to Marco Ballo.
Yep, and
So that was really good.
To break 30 hours, you were the second person in 24 years. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good race.
Yep.
And the
Excellent.
508 was awesome. That's right in my backyard. And that the 508 is actually the race that got me into UltraCycling. One day I was out riding and I saw these people going and, they were part of the 508. And I had a friend tell me about it and explain to me they ride 508 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what sparked my interest into Ultra. That was back in 2016.
Excellent. Great job. What are your plans coming up for 2022?
It's 2022. We're actually going to dial back a little. So we got Race Across the West solo, and then we have 24-hour Worlds. So this year I went pretty hard. I did the 508, and then right after that I went up to the Yosemite cycling camp, which quick shout out to that. That's the greatest cycling camp on earth. If you want to get better, go there. But so I went there, and the original plan was to ride recovery at camp, and I did not do that. And went pretty hard, and then went and proceeded to. Then I ended up getting sick, and I raced through the sickness at 24-hour World. So I really overdid it. Yeah. This year I want to kind of maintain a little more focus, spend less money on racing, and do a little better through just focusing on those two events, Race Across the West, 24-hour Worlds. I may do a 2-man Race Across Oregon. I definitely want to go out and support George's events. They're really good events.
Definitely.
And I'm probably going to get up there in May for that double century. But yeah, I've been really, really busy with doing life cycle and work in the photography business. So probably going to cut it down to about 2 or 3 races this year and just kind of try and focus in on those.
Gotcha. Excellent. And I think you're going to try to attempt a world record coming up?
Yeah. So that's the other big thing. Is originally I was planning mid-March. That's probably not going to work with the schedule. And just to be on the safe side with the weather, we're thinking April. So in about 4 months, I'm going to try and break the world record for the highest weekly mileage. So I think that 320 miles a day is doable. So yeah, we're going to try and break that 2,200 mark in a week.
That is awesome. And that's going to be right in your backyard, so to speak, on a course somewhere close to your house, correct?
Yeah, I have a course out about 5 miles from my house. It's a 14-mile out and back. It's super flat. That's what I train on to simulate worlds and any time trial training I do. So that's the course I'll use, and just kind of looking at the logistics. On that course, I can run recovery, 50% of FTP, 190 watts, 180 watts, and push well over 20 miles an hour. So the plan is 16 hours a day, and then which would give me 320 miles, and then the last 40 hours just go all the way through or do whatever I could do. Awesome.
Now, are you going to have a crew that's been with you, or is this new crew, or?
I'm still kind of assembling that. I waited for the show to announce to everybody that I was going to do that, except for you guys knew and some other people that I CC'd on that email.
Yep.
So I will have my wife to help me, who's she's crewed every single race I've ever done. She knows me well, and then I have a few local friends that are gonna probably help out as well. And so each day I'm basically just lining up for somebody to be there, with me to run support or whatever, even if they're just hanging out, making sure I'm all right.
Excellent. Yeah. Dusty, kind of same thing. That's cutting back in 2022.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say April. That isn't going to give you much time to kind of readjust your
Yeah.
scheme of things between that and Raw, will it?
Raw. Yeah, that's the big risk this year. So I initially wanted to do this in March, but when I started planning everything, I planned it all out, and then I remembered that we're moving just locally,
Hmm.
but we're moving in mid-March, so I'm not going to be able to do do the world record attempt and handle that. So I wanted 3 months to recover before Raw. I'm going to get 2, and it's it's a gamble, but it is what it is, and it'll be a good start to 2022. So,
Gotcha.
Now I see there's 2 records
hmm
for that. There is the WUCA, or World Ultra Cycling Association.
hmm
I promised I'd never use that again. Um, and then there's the Guinness record. Are you going to go for the Guinness as well, or just
yeah,
the WCA?
yeah. I think the Guinness as well. I got to kind of do some research on that. I think the Guinness is what 22 something.
Hmm.
2280 or 2180.
2180. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your goal is 2240.
Yeah, I'd like to beat them both. I think I got to talk to Wuka or Waka and see if they automatically submit to Guinness or how that works. But
Yeah, I know they were talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're trying to fix the WCA rules so that you can more easily qualify for both records.
Hmm.
I'd like to beat both, and then whatever paperwork we have to do or certifications to get credit for both, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, aside from training outside, do you do any indoor training, just so people know?
Oh yeah, all winter. It's snowing out right now. I've got a friend that's a professional mountain biker, and he rides outdoors year round. But I'm too much of a wuss for that. So I ride. We own a spin studio, Life Cycle Spin and Yoga
Awesome.
Studio,
Great.
and so I ride there usually like 5 to 7 days a week, and then and I'll do a lot of big indoor rides. Typically, I'll do January 1st, I'm going to do an Everest indoors on Zwift. And then I'll probably do a couple more big ones indoors. But yeah, that's how I stay in shape over the winter is pretty much all indoors. I haven't actually ridden outdoors in, I don't know. It's probably been at least a month or 2.
Awesome. Great. Lee, you have anything other?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about you have listed a charity. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, Action Against Hunger. So my original goal was to raise $508 for them when the first time I raced the 508 when I won it in 2019. We've now so far raised over $8,500 for them. So sometimes we use different charities, but my heart, I like Action Against Hunger. They feed people that are gonna, and they help people that are, would otherwise not be able to live because of lack of food. And so I think that's pretty important. There are a lot of good charities out there, but I think just keeping human beings alive and helping human beings is a good cause.
Definitely.
Well, you on our show notes, Jim, I need to bang my head a little bit here. Our show notes, we have a link to that charity, your specific funding track.
Cool.
And Jim's going to find and put up the URL to the OhioRAAM Show so people can find it. Also, there on the show notes, we have links to your photographic site, as well as your fat cycling site. Might have something else there. How to follow you on Facebook. So there's a lot of information there on our show notes at OhioRAAMShow.com for following Shane more. And now,
I had a question real quick that you said that. Why the fat cyclist? What's the meaning behind that?
Oh yeah. So I used to weigh 300 pounds.
No way.
Yeah. Back in so the way my whole journey got started is I weighed 300 pounds, and I the timeline's kind of gone out of my head, but basically I lost a bunch of weight through running. I got down to about 240. And then I couldn't run anymore because my knees and back were messed up. So I started cycling, and I just kind of hovered about 240 for a long time. Then I went to Tyler's camp. I think it was in 2018, and I got real serious. And then that's when I got really good at UltraCycling, because I dropped 50, 60 more pounds.
That's awesome.
And so now. Normally, I'm racing at about 190. The off season, I've been eating a lot this off season, so I'm about 205 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I used to be fat, and so I had that moniker, the Fat Cyclist, and it's just kind of stuck with. I've thought about changing it several times, but every time I debate it, I just think that that's my roots. That's where I came from, and I think that it's a good talking point, like a good starting point, but it's also
definitely.
Maybe will inspire other people.
I was going to say, that's such an inspiration. That just goes to show you put your mind to something and do something healthy, and it helps you a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Lee, anything else? You're muted, Lee.
Yeah, the reason why you're seeing my dog here a lot is because I've got a little bit of a throat problem, and you don't want to see me hacking and coughing, so I show my dog and turn my mic off. But anyway, what's your goal for Raw, Shane?
So I've had some wild goals before. When I raced the 508 in 2019, I sent Christoph Strasser an email and kind of asked him if he thought I could win and this and that. And he emailed me back. And one thing he said was, your number one goal should always just be to finish, and then don't worry about the rest. And basically, what he said was, and I'm paraphrasing what he said. So what he said was, if you get wrapped up in time goals and finishing and this and that, then all of a sudden, you can use it as an excuse to quit. So if my goal is to win Raw and for some reason I'm in fourth place or having a rough time, then that's a good excuse to quit. So he said, always just have that first goal to be finish. And that's what it is. I just want to finish and do the best that I can do. And then whatever happens. As far as time goals that I'd like to see, I think 60 hours is doable. And I think actually less than that's doable, but there's so many factors. You guys know, with Race Across the West. I mean, this year, Tyler and I did it, and the heat was insane. And I'll be honest and say, if it wasn't for Tyler, there's no way we would have finished that. He was climbing through these humongous hour-long climbs in 120-degree heat. And I was having trouble doing those climbs for 5 minutes. So, Race Across the West has a lot of variables. And if it's hot again this year, like it was last year, that's definitely going to slow me down. But I'll train for it, and we'll just do the best we can do and see what happens. But the goal is always to finish.
Excellent.
Will we ever see you here in Ohio at one of our time stations?
That's my dream. I want to do RAM one day. You guys know it's really, really costly. And so, in the next, unless, some sort of miracle sponsor comes along in the next 5 years or so, it probably won't happen. But, I figured maybe if I go and do well at Race Across the West, then there'll be someone that picks me up and helps me out financially. Right now, it's just not in the cards, just simply due to it's just not financially possible. But I do want to do it one day, and that's, you know, kind of the ultimate race for me is do RAM.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot, would you consider being on a team?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
absolutely.
Excellent.
I think that would be a good way to go about it. So, Tyler and I did Raw this year, and I'm going to use a lot of the stuff I learned, him and I doing it together, this year when I do it solo. So I think doing it on a team would be a nice way to learn.
Good stepping stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Excellent.
Yeah, well, we really thank you for being with us here. The last show of live show of 2021 for us. And I think we're going to get ready to give a prize away. But Jim, let me go over what's coming up.
Okay.
And well, we give people a little chance. If you haven't made a comment, just make any kind of comment, your name, where you're from, or anything like that. Well, I once again tell you what's happening. We're going to go to the robots for the next 2 weeks, next 2 shows. We've got it all set up. Our system allows us just to go do what we want to do, and it runs it automatically, and we're doing best of shows. So Jana Sharp's coming up on Boxing Day, December 26th, and on New Year's Recovery Day, January the 2nd, our first show then is going to be with Leah Goldstein, Eric Newsom. And then our first live show of 2022, we're going to our good friend in Denmark, Ellen Starp, who's going to do RAM 2022 this year. And as always, when you see those notices, there'll always be the time in your part of the world. So click on the reminder. Be sure to follow us. Be sure to subscribe. Jim, are you ready to go?
I think so. We've got a couple more comments I want to hit. You want to knock that screen down real quick?
Okay, let's take care of those.
Yep. Hang on.
Good.
Get that off there. We're both hitting the same buttons. Get back up to comments real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Dusty says, "You rock, Coach." So that's a good one. Thanks, Dusty. And Randy Horton, amazing interview. Thank you. He definitely did a great interview tonight.
Well, roll 'em.
All right, here we go. Let me get this in solo mode. Here we go. Kaylee McCall, Dwayne Ball. It messed with me there, I tell you.
I gotta say, Jim,
hey,
you jumped the gun.
Jump the gun, Dwayne Ball.
This thing is naughty.
Yes, it is.
It is naughty. It makes you think you've won, and then somebody points up, Dwayne, there's where you send your address. We're going to give you a T-shirt, men or women, small, medium, large, extra large.
Definitely. Congratulations.
And, we'll get it off to you.
Yes.
Might run it over to you. Hey.
There you go.
Shane, once again, thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate
Jim, thank you for all you have done this past year.
Oh, thank you, Lee, for getting me twisting my arm.
People do not know what kind of work Jim does behind the scenes. And it looks simple here, but there's a lot goes on. He's done a lot with the software, hardware, technology. He's taught me things. And we also have been taking some webinars from the StreamYard people. Jim, hi, Vic. Hey, is it snowing? Is it snowing in Juneau? Hey, we'll stick here for a minute if he can answer it.
There you go.
What a trip he had up there across British Columbia and through them. Geez, in the wintertime, that was a remarkable adventure.
Yes.
I should say that Vic, he's head of the media for Race Across America, and
Yes.
his wife was just transferred to Juneau, Alaska, and he's up there at this time. Vic, we're so glad that you popped in.
Yeah. No snow at the
Now,
moment, he said.
that broke my train of thought, Jim. So anyhow, we're looking forward to. He got out. I got his new snow. I knew he would have one. Vic.
Definitely.
He had to have a snow bike.
Yep.
I guess we were going to get out of here, were we not?
I think that was the case, yes.
Might as well. I don't know. We went to this webinar, I was going to say, with a lawyer who talked about the legal aspects of
Streaming.
live streaming, and I think we do pretty good trying to cover our tracks as far as copyrights go. I know Shane knows a lot about that kind of stuff, and I know Vic does.
Yes.
Well, I get to laugh when I think about that, Vic. But we come away thinking maybe we ought not to do this. It may be too dangerous. But the one thing he said, Jim, I was going to remember was we ought to have a disclaimer. And so our disclaimer is any resemblance to a professional show and what we do here is purely accidental.
Yes, definitely.
And with that, we're going to say goodbye to 2022. See you then. Thanks for a great year. We look forward to 2022.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Hey, Greg, wake up. It's time to work.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.